I managed to avoid the volatile reaction as the mixing of the liquid catches fire.
Is that why neckbeards always pee in jugs? So it doesn't touch their poo and accidentally catch fire?
Oh, it's awesome. It's like a flamethrower, you know, it's like...
Hello, friends. Trace amounts of science. Today we're checking out another 4chan green tech story about the Witcher. The Urban Witcher. We'll find neckbeards, legbeards, and who knows what else on the hunt. So join me. Did you want to add anything, Jaskier?
Toss a coin to your Witcher, O Valley of Plenty.
Oh yeah, good point. I totally would like a super chat. Anyway, here it comes, be me! Starting to get hungry. Time to hunt.png. Look for signs of prey. Track monster to its lair. Break into house and go to the basement door. Can hear the creature breathing heavily. Horrifying sounds of like someone fistfighting a jar of mayo. They smell of pee and sweat. The scent is so strong it's seeping through the door. Don't even gag anymore because I'm a professional. Apply neckbeard oil to my silver sword and chug a Chad decoction. Lay out the bait. Adult videos and books from the Far East with some Cheeto dust. Rumbling comes from the stairs. The door opens. The beast is nude and covered in pimples. Its dried and fresh seed covers its body. Stark nude except for a Naruto headband. Medium size, of at least 400 pounds. It bends over to pick up its prize. Dingleberries are large on this one. Spring from behind the living room couch. Slash into its flesh, and the creature lets out a mighty... It swings its massive weight around, trying to attack. It's out of its lair. It can't see me yet because the sun is blinding it. Few more slashes. The protective layer of grease is rushing into the wounds to stop the bleeding. The creature hits me with a thrashing blow. The autism-enhanced strength sends me through a wall and into the kitchen. Mommy, Batman, attack me! I made sure the mother was gone before the hunt. The creature is hysterical, rushes at me through the hole it just made. Drywall scraping against its flesh as the hole widens. Shoot it with my hand crossbow. The bolt sinks harmlessly into its flesh. Suddenly feces is flying into the air. My armor's been hit, and it's starting to dissolve. Tear off the pieces as fast as I can. The beast makes it through the hole and rushes me. Time to finish this, .gif. Launch myself off the kitchen sink and behead it in one fluid move. Body collapses to the floor, shaking the entire house. Piss and crap spray everywhere. Enter the neckbeard's lair. Piss bottles and Mountain Dew cans everywhere. What could you be possibly looking for? Leave this place, please! Dojin is just laying out in the open. Fresh mental wounds cut into my mind. Search through the pizza boxes and the spent tissues. This creature's been nesting for a while. Find a 2-foot-high pile of poop socks in the closet.
Yeah, you never collected a poop sock before?
On what the creature surely called a bed is a body pillow. The faded image of Tracer, eclipsed in years of the creature's spent seed, can be seen. Continue my search near the computer area. I finally find it. GBP card is filled to the brim.
Hell yeah, good boy points.
Throw a dancing star bomb into the lair as I leave. Whole house burns down. Go out and order a feast of tendies and honey mussy. Another job well done, Witcher. Serve that man up a double. Keeping our town, neighborhood, community safe. How else should we thank him? And if you don't believe in the value of our Witcher yet, you will with the next story. Sitting at Mickey D's, enjoying some tendies and honey mussy, procured from a stolen good boy points card. Witcher senses warn me of danger. The smell of Funyuns, instant ramen, and despair announce their presence before I can see them. A pack of 4 neckbeards walk inside, all carrying fedoras and trench coats. One's carrying a katana. The others have a staff, nunchucks, and those Chinese hand knife things. Overweight mutant virgin turtles.png.
I really like this a lot. Who was the one that suggested this to me? Johnny Joestar 2630. I forgot to shout you out earlier, so I'm doing it now.
I finish the last of my nuggies and stand to face them. One of them starts speaking, voice cracking with rage.
Oh, we know who you are. We've traced you here. Prepare to be ended for your crimes against us and our kind.
I'm getting sloppy. I must not have cleaned the stench of my last kill off myself well enough. Neckbeards can track each other's secretions and scents similar to wolves. These ones haven't evolved into nesters yet. They're able to speak in full sentences and can walk in the sunlight like us humans can. Neckbeards in their mid-stage weave form aren't quite as dangerous as they are in their nester forms, but if there are enough of them, then that threat is very real. I tell them, if you know who I am, then you know what's about to happen. I go to reach for my sword. The closest one slices the air with its katana and screeches. It runs towards me. The bulk of the monster's weight lets it crash through the tables and chairs as if they were nothing. Do a flip to the side and unsheath my sword. The momentum the creature has gained is too great for it to stop or turn. It slices into an elderly couple that was sitting right behind me, killing them instantly. At least they didn't suffer, .jpg. The others take their chance while I'm distracted. With a mighty ree, they come at me in a wave. Falling back, I toss a grape shot bomb at the group. The shrapnel embeds in their flesh. One reels back, but the others seem unfazed by the pain. People are screaming and running out the door. Falling back further to the counter, I pull out my crossbow and shoot the one with knives in the leg. The monster falls. One of its blades pierces into its massive man boob. The beast lets out an ear-splitting screech and immediately soils itself.
Down for the count, eh?
The one still charging me raises its staff to strike. My Little Pony keychains swing wildly at the end. I parry at the last second, stepping to the side, letting my blade open the creature's neck. It erupts with corrosive Mountain Dew Code Red and half-digested Doritos as the abomination slams into the counter. An employee who's standing behind the counter is showered in it. There's nothing I can do but listen to their screams as the flesh melts from their bones.
My God, he was only a week away from retirement.
I'm not paying enough attention. The one with the katanas is back in action. A slice from its masterwork maul blade cuts into my side. The pain streaks across my abdomen, and I jump behind the counter. Nunchucks and katanas slash at the air above me. Their bloated forms are too big to follow me directly over the counter. I could feel the counter starting to give in from their pushing and flailing. I reach around in my satchel. I take a pull from my swallow bottle to stem the bleeding, but I can feel something pulsing through my veins. The weeb! He must have put Belle Delphine's Gamer Girl bathwater on his blades. I'll need to treat this soon, or I'll be dead.
Or at least, herpes.
Oh my God! Your mouth looks like the underside of a boat!
I somersault over the dead employee, standing up as I jam my sword into the ice cream machine and flick my sword at them. The liquid ice cream from the broken machine flies off my blade and goes directly into the katana wielder's eyes. The creature slashes blindly and kills its kin. The ground shakes as it falls to the ground and bursts open like an overfed tick. The smell, it's indescribable. Now is my chance. Throw my silver sword. The tip lands square in its face, pinning it to the wall and killing the abomination. I remove my sword from its skull, and the body slumps forward into the fetid mess the other had left. The last one lays injured on the floor. It says something in Japanese. I start stomping on its head while it speaks. Can't chance getting cursed while poisoned. Its skull caves in. I survey the wild destruction that's taken place, loot all their good boy point cards, and take a fedora as a trophy. Walk out of McDonald's, victorious. Van is parked outside. I can smell their filth on it. One of the neckbeard's mothers is inside. Wink at her and tip my hat. M'lady. And I walk into the sunset.
Well, that mom might be sad for a little while, but on the long time scale, you saved her a lot of pain and heartache. I think it's a good thing that you did, OP. I mean, it's technically just self-defense at this point, isn't it? Let's check out part 3.
Be me, a witcher. Sustain myself on tendies. Mostly deal with creatures called neckbeards. Steal good boy point cards from them. I need supplies to keep hunting. Ran out of Chad decoction during the last encounter. 600-pound big boy with mommy home. Nearly died. Story for another time, .gif. Chads have a gland on top of their liver that delivers alpha hormones directly into their bloodstream. I need this in order to make Chad decoction with alchemy. The glands need to be potent for it to be most effective. I've passed up on many lesser Chads, but now I found the one. I stalk it for a while. Although there are many types of Chads, this Chad appears to be the focal point of a large group of Stacys, Roasties, and Jocks. The Stacys all service the Chad intimately. The Roasties seek to usurp the Stacys while befriending said Stacys. And the Jocks, of course, feed off of the Chad's leftovers like a pack of wild hyenas. In turn, they boost the Chad's ego, which fuels the magic that alpha gland runs on. It's a simple but aggressive ecosystem. Buy some tendies with my dwindling good boy point supply, and I set my plan into motion. I have to isolate the Chad. I make a fake Instagram profile, load it with pictures of an attractive woman, and I message Chad. It doesn't take long for it to respond. The larger the Chad's ego, the more dangerous it is. However, the easier it is to lure. I tell him that we can meet at a bar to watch the sports ball game, and then we'll totally do it. I cover my scent with Axe body spray to avoid detection. I go into the bar. Use the last of my good boy points to get a drink. Applejuice.png. Lie in wait in a booth in the back. Although there aren't many women in here, I can almost smell them moistening in unison. Ew. The beast approaches. It enters the bar, 7'2", easily 300 pounds of pure muscle, backwards cap and a tap-out shirt on. So many rings adorn its fingers, I can't be sure they aren't made of gold. Its chiseled chin brushes against the door frame and slices a chunk of wood from it. I don't think it even noticed. Old Spice and Drakkar Noir seeps into my nostrils. My Witcher physiology keeps a majority of the scent-induced fear at bay. The bar goes quiet from the sheer presence of this creature. Through some witchcraft, the music changes mid-song to dubstep. Something comes in behind him. The Jocks all start filing in, each one wearing a different jersey, all wearing flat-brimmed hats with the price sticker still on them. One is wearing white socks with Nike sandals and baseball shorts. I somehow managed to stifle the urge to vomit. They were not supposed to be here. Looks like I'll have to improvise. The Jocks get the permission nod from the Chad to go and sit at the bar. They do little without prior approval. The Chad sniffs the air. Its senses are keen. It's searching for that promised Punan. Millennia of apex predator evolutions make Chads a lethal foe. Men in the bar shift uncomfortably in their seats as he surveys the area. The women begin to bare their breasts as an offering, and it huffs twice. I can sense the anger beginning to build, engorging the alpha gland with hormones. Its ego has been challenged. The Jocks can smell the hormone change, and they're getting restless as well. They squirm and try to hide their envious priapisms for the women who are offering themselves to this exemplary specimen. I need to think fast before this monster starts killing all the men and doing all the chicks. Suddenly the Chad bellows, "Bro, I think that bitch stood me up!" The jocks reply with a chattering chorus of subsequent bros of their own. They're distracted. I finish my apple juice, throw a Samum firebomb at the bar. The alcohol catches fire and explodes. Jocks go flying. A few are on fire. The others are stunned. The bartender is a smoking husk. Draw my sword. I leap on a table and sprint across tabletops. Attempt to close the distance between me and my prey. This Chad is more powerful than anticipated. I've underestimated his abilities. The beast notices me right away. In a single motion, it picks up a nearby man with one arm and throws him at me. I take the hit directly to the chest and fly back across the bar. The man, of course, dies upon impact. People scream. Chaos ensues. The sheer force of the throw has broken some of my ribs. It's hard to breathe. I struggle to stand. The jocks are beginning to recover. One charges at me with such reckless abandon that it drops its jewel. I put the lesser being down with a crossbow bolt in the eye. Meanwhile, another, still ablaze, tears the leg off a chair. "What now, you piece of filth?" .jpg. Screaming its fantasy football stats from last year, the creature runs at me, taking a wild swing. I'm able to counter the sloppy blow and cut down the beast with a two-handed slice. The sword sinks into its torso and cleaves it down to the hip. The body slides limply onto the floor, almost peacefully. I pull my sword out of the corpse and ready myself for the next attack. The patrons are beginning to run out of the bar in fear. They're clogging the back door in their panic. My escape plan's now impossible. The worst has yet to come. I didn't kill the Chad in time. It lets out an almighty roar that breaks the remainder of the intact glass inside the bar. Its massive 5-foot dong tearing from its jeans. The girth is unbelievable. The Chad begins swinging it around, and one of the other jocks gets too close. The jock's skull crumples as the gargantuan specimen smashes its head into the wall. The remaining jocks know the fury of that dong, and they cower behind their patriarch. They murmur unintelligible threats from the shelter of his wrath. Skittish and cowardly things. The Chad charges. His skin cannon is obliterating everything in sight. Splinters of wood from tables and chairs, along with the viscera of the dead, joins the smoke in the air. I swiftly load another bolt and fire it directly at the Pebus.
P-E-B-U-S. Pebus. This is some top-tier shitposting, man.
The boat skitters across a vein. It bounces away. I'm hurting bad now. With great effort, I jump as high as I can before its death pipe finishes me for good. I miss its flesh spear, but slam directly onto the Chad's torso. The monster's love organ pierces the bricks, and the entire back wall explodes into the back alley. I soar through the air and land in a pile of rubble. Bodies of those who are trying to escape litter the ground. The Chad, however, still unharmed. His wicked willy swings in the wind as he approaches me. Slowly, the monster leans in to speak to me. The smell of Jaeger bombs, Black and Milds, and stale muff is suffocating. "What, so you catfish me, bro? Huh? What, are you gay or something, bro?" The foolish creature has no idea what it's just done. With a weak breath from my battered body, I was able to complete the spell. "No, you." The Chad's face turns red.
Got him, coach.
Got him!
Its eyes begin to bleed and bulge out of its face. The foul thing's skin begins to blister as it bursts into green and black flame. The Chad begins to roar, louder and louder. I cover my ears so as not to go deaf. The beast's head and its mighty mushroom explode simultaneously. I'm showered with bits of dong amidst a wave of blood. I cough up some blood of my own and stand. Out of fear or delusions of replacing the Chad, The jocks have fled. I cut the Chad open with my hunting knife and retrieve his alpha gland, putting it into my satchel. I take a steep draught from my water bottle. I search the Chad and find its dad's credit card. It'll have to do until I can recover and get some more good boy points. I take his belt buckle as a trophy. BAMF is carved expertly into its precious aluminum. Rain starts to fall. I limp through the downpour, rinsing the Chad blood off of me. I should be okay for now, but I need to get that stench off me before it gets picked up by the roasties. I vanish into the night.
Well, that was an exciting adventure, wasn't it? And now he's refilled his stock of that thing, whatever it does. I'm not sure if he realizes that Daddy's credit card's probably a lot better of a find than the Good Boy Points cards. But I guess when your only subsistence is tendies, yeah, Good Boy Points become a lot more valuable. Anyways, we'll continue on and see what the Urban Witcher's hunting down next.
I choose to hunt on my terms, for the most part. While scoping out potential prey, I'm solicited by a local comic book shop owner. He says that a Nestor has been leaving its lair and troubling his magic tournaments with tantrums. He offers me 80 tendies to be rid of it. I say half up front and half later. Stake out at a Wendy's that's close to the strip mall, feasting on tendies with Honey Mussy. I scarcely needed the description that I was given, of course. A van pulls up to the shop. A 600-pound beast steps out of it. I can hear the relief of the vehicle's suspension system as it exits, but the rest of the tendies in my satchel. As the van leaves the parking lot, I run and jump onto the roof. I'll be waiting for this one when it returns to its lair. I arrive at the house. The mother leaves to go inside. I open a window and slip in undetected. I can hear her gentle sobs as she goes upstairs. The house is clean, but the smell of urine is still detectable in the air. I find the door to the basement. The pungent aroma of spent seed and sweat stings my eyes as I open the door. The mother has let the creature have full run of this basement. Jimmy John's and Taco Bell bags scattered across the floor. Anime posters are plastered all over the walls. There's a bookshelf stocked with manga, doujin, and other Japanese action figures. A Guy Fawkes mask on a hook hangs from the side. There's a picture of the beast and its mother trick-or-treating last year. The mother has an expression of deep defeat etched on her face. It chose a traditional Heath Ledger's Joker, which is common amongst its kind. Various mall ninja weaponry mounted on the walls. There's a sunken and partially broken armchair in front of a flat-screen TV with greasy fingerprints and various consoles. A picnic table with a lone computer, sparsely covered in Doritos, is in the middle of the room. Notice that the basement's been lazily dusted. Take a closer look. The excretion stains in front of the chair seem to have been wiped away. The advanced form of the creature and this level of cleanliness does not add up. There are no pee bottles. I can't smell any fresh fecal matter. Notice a Good Boy Point card on the TV stand. It's empty. They must have all been spent 2 days ago. Says sleepover in the memo line. Hear a car pull up. My heart drops into my stomach. LAN party. I'm out of time. The ceiling shakes with the footsteps of many good boys. Mommy, I'm home. Me and my friends are going to play games. The door opens. Each step bends the boards to their limits. I dive and hide under the bed in the corner. Spent tissues carpet the ground beneath me. Horrifying and foul beyond reason, but they'll mask my scent and perhaps serve as some camouflage. Find a crumpled high school diploma to shield my face from direct contact. They wheeze as they gather around the table. Each drops off its gaming PC, and they begin to hook them up. The horrid smells of body odor and unwashed underwear mix in a putrid harmony. This Nestor has accumulated non-virtual friends. Social skills at this stage of evolution, however limited, are very rare in these creatures. I risk peeking out from under the bed to see exactly what it is I'm up against. Their stretched XXL t-shirts are bursting at the seam. One has a top knot and a Quiznos t-shirt on. I see one of them has a hoodie decorated with black and white adult anime. My Pepe medallion is humming. This one can wield powerful magic. There's a skinny one with a fresh Attack on Titan tattoo on its calf. From what I can tell, it has just transitioned from autist to weeb. Practically an infant.
It just gets me so good. I can go for long points without laughing, but sometimes the ridiculousness just builds up. I need a break. Okay, here we go again.
The biggest boy, which is my prey, has put on a kimono. The creature is being referred to as Goku by the others. I cringe so hard it's painful. They're giggling and quoting JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I'm trapped. One can't find a plug for its computer. Goku says that it has an outlet under the bed. I steel myself as the smallest creature volunteers to find it and gets down on the ground. We lock eyes. Before it can react, I stab it in the face with my knife. My blade is stuck and pulls from my hand as the creature thrashes on the ground. Confused noises come from the others. I roll out from under the bed. The caster begins to speak Japanese. Goku rushes to the wall of weaponry. Quiznos is still trying to assess what's happening. I throw a moon dust bomb at the caster. The silver shards pepper its flesh. Its magic is diminished, but it won't last long. Quiznos gains its bearings and rushes me. I jump, using the bed to spring myself higher, and smash the creature in the face with my knee.
I think that's called a flying wizard.
It's wizard time,
Blood gushes from its nose. It falls backwards into the PCs. The monsters screech together at the loss of their only joy in life, their portal for both love and entertainment. Goku retrieves a spear from the wall. The caster's chanting again. I chug the last small mouthful of my Chad decoction. I pull the sword from my back and charge. The caster sends a ball of rancid piss. I duck past the bolt as the conjuration hits the concrete pillar behind me, turning it into molten slag. I raise my blade to strike. The caster lets out a deafening burp. The residual Diet Dr. Pepper singes my hair. The force stuns me, but only for a second. Goku seizes its chance and spears me in the shoulder. My armor absorbs the blow. I still fall over backwards over Quiznos and roll on top of the one that I had stabbed in the face. The creature's wailing and is now shit in its sweatpants. I drop my sword and grip the sides of its face, snap its neck. With a sucking noise, I rip my knife from its face. Goku hasn't made it across the broken PCs to me, at least not yet. I throw my knife at it. Goku manages to partially deflect the throw. The blade lands in the beast's forearm. The resulting screech is being drowned out by chanting. That caster is back to full power. It begins shitting directly into its hands and throwing it at me. I roll behind the remains of the concrete pillar as the corpse of the small one is pierced with spikes made completely out of crap. I can feel the effects of the Chad decoction. I stand and rush once again. Quiznos is back on its feet and is scrambling over the computers towards the weapons. Time slows as I approach the caster. It can sense the temporary alpha aura given to me and hesitates. I run the creature through with my sword. Pee and poo gush out of its shorts. I manage to avoid the volatile reaction as the mixing of the liquid catches fire.
Is that why neckbeards always pee in jugs? So it doesn't touch their poo and accidentally catch fire?
Oh, it's awesome. It's like a flamethrower. You know, it's like.
Sure, why not?
The pool quickly reaches the PCs and starts to burn them. Neckbeard physiology is too chaotic to have predicted this. Quiznos has reached the wall and takes Wolverine claws from it. It turns to face me, bloody snot and tears running down its face. Goku rushes to join the monster's side. The exit is to my right, but I'm cornered by the beasts, and this fire is getting bigger. Quiznos attacks. He takes 2 heavy swipes. I dodge both of them. Without missing a step, I twirl my blade through the air, and it passes through the back of the beast's neck and out the front. The top knot unfurls as the head rolls onto the floor. Goku steps forward and spears me in the sternum. I drop my sword. It leverages its mass and pins me into the corner. I feel hot blood running down my legs. Backlit by the blaze, the monster laughs. Its tits and visible belly jiggle with delight. There's no mercy in this dojo. The Family Guy reference. It causes me to cringe, expediting my blood loss.
There's no mercy in this dojo!
Joe, why don't you take it down a notch?
No mercy!
This is the end. This abomination is fearsome and unyielding. 3 weebs and a Nestor in its own lair. The odds were never good. Suddenly a voice comes down the stairs. With strained pleasantness it says, "Mommy made our good boy and some friends some cookies." The mother gets to the bottom of the stairs. She drops the cookies on the ground. "What the fuck?" She's cut off by Goku. "I want those cookie bits!" The beast pulls the spear from me, and I slump to the ground. It turns to face its mother in a rage. Turns out it took its underwear off when it changed into the kimono. God, I hope this isn't the last thing I see. .png. The monster is brandishing the bloody spear wildly at its caretaker. This is my last chance. I force myself to stand, keeping as much pressure on my chest as I can. I stumble over to the bookshelf and push it over. It falls into the fire. Goku goes pale. It drops the spear and begins desperately pulling burning manga from the inferno. Its mother is in shock. I need to save myself, but I also have a duty to this world and its inhabitants. I pull out my crossbow and aim at it. With years of expertise, I shoot a bolt directly into the mother's uterus.
Baby factory shut down.
I must sterilize her so that her horrendous mistake can never have a successor. Her cries of agony go unheard by the creature. I run across the room and up the stairs. Outside, I drain my entire bottle of Swallow. The lingering effects of the Chad decoction is the only thing keeping me conscious. Break the window of the van with a rock, hotwire it, and drive away as fast as I can.
Wait, you didn't even burn the Nestor? Or are you of the opinion that it's going to take care of itself, trying to rescue its naughty books from the fire?
Either way, a battle won and a van as plunder. Not too bad.
We'll continue on into part number 5.
At the grocery store. Been living in this van I stole. Found $50 in the glove box. Stocking up on essentials. Nuggies, deodorant, crossbow bolts, etc. Go to the shortest line. Only 2 people ahead of me. Looking forward to some nuggies. Heated up on the van's engine. Even picked up a fancy bottle of good old Honey Mussy. I hear something.
I'm sorry, but this coupon is expired.
Look to the front. Middle-aged white lady. Can't you make an exception? She's beginning to look irritated. Something doesn't feel right.
I'm sorry, but the system won't let me enter it if it's expired.
The lady opens her mouth. Her jaw unhinges, and her teeth extend into fangs. Her limbs grow, stretch, and twist. Her caffeine is life sweatshirt and yoga pants tear and fall to the ground. Nipples the size of dinner plates. .jpg. Her eyes widen and turn obsidian. Her neck extends out of her torso at least 4 feet. Her angled bob haircut remains perfectly intact. The horror screams, "I want to speak to your manager!" The voice becomes shrill and otherworldly. I've only read about this in my monster manuals. A hellish creature, spawned in the suburbs. A Karen. I draw my silver sword. The cashier runs away. Her gangly form lets her climb over the counter with ease. Running on all fours, she catches him, bites into his torso. The cashier screams rise and fade as he is pulled into the air and fangs pierce his lungs. People in the store scatter like cockroaches. The lady directly in front of me rolls her eyes and walks out the door with her cart. She just stole all that shit. Nice stock gif. Following the creature as quickly as I can, I jump onto her back. With a downward plunge, I stab into her ribs. The smell of Ed Hardy perfume it's just too pungent. I vomit all over her and myself, and I lose my footing. The creature shrieks and bucks me off. I couldn't get my sword out of her. I crash into a produce display. The cashier is dangling limply in her jaws. The creature's arms crack as they bend unnaturally and free the sword, tossing it away. Her mouth opens further as she consumes the corpse. His entrails swing loosely from between her teeth. I'm trying to dig myself out from under these pineapples as fast as I can. She begins galloping over to me. Shit. Oh god, oh shit. Suddenly an arrow flies and sinks into the monster's shoulder. Unearthly noises emanate from the beast as it shudders from the pain. I stand and see a massive black man in full plate armor. He drops a longbow and picks up a tower shield and a flail. A menacing look overcomes his face. He has a coat of arms emblazoned across his shield, a triumvirate of a plastic bag, a dollar bill, and a crying store associate, the manager. "To me!" he bellows in a booming voice. I fall in behind him as he charges forward. I pick up his longbow. He unleashes the ancient cry of his order. "That was only a limited time offer!" The Karen rears her head back and strikes. She's met with an expert blow from the manager as the head of his flail smashes her face. Black blood and fractured teeth fall from the creature. She doesn't give him time to recover. A lightning-fast strike comes again. He catches the bite with his shield and wedges it partially into its mouth. Her venomous, barbed tongue flicks around the sides, looking for an opening. Her demonic voice calls out, "You call this customer service?" His feet are cracking the tiles. He's holding the shield with everything he has. I leap onto the checkout counter and loose an arrow. It slips past the manager's head and pierces her stomach. The monster screams. The pile of pineapples on the floor instantly rots. Pipes burst in the ceiling and begin to sprinkle water throughout the store. She lets go of the shield and sweeps her arms across the floor. The manager's knocked into the bargain bin. Adam Sandler movies and stale candy soaring into the air. I shoot another arrow, and it misses wide. It finds its way to a customer, escaping out the door. The arrow sinks into his head, and his mobility scooter crashes. His body drops between the automatic doors. They close and open repeatedly on his body. Acceptable casualties.png. Drop the bow. Run toward the center of the store. I can hear her knocking over displays behind me. "My husband owns a dealership!" The voice grinds against my soul. "I spent so much money here!" The sound of Crocs slapping against the floor is getting closer. The monster's right on my heels. A customer with a cart enters the aisle that I'm running down. "What's going on here?" I take notice of their confused expression as I vault onto their cart and step on their face to get onto the tops of the shelves. "No one's talking to you!" Their cries are brief before the creature rips them apart. I don't look back, but it sounds like someone's tearing apart a wet sheet. "Mind your own business!" Using my momentum, I cross the store quickly, leaping from shelf to shelf. The Karen isn't as coordinated and has a hard time following me. I seize the opportunity and fling a series of bombs in its direction as I run. The smell of burning tortillas and peanut butter Captain Crunch fills the air as the bombs explode. I drop down into the frozen food section. Look fast, Hunter. The manager's with me. He tosses me my sword and I catch it. I brace myself for what's about to come.
You millennials take no pride in your work!
Coolers fall to the ground with a deafening crash. I roll and regain my bearings. The manager steps out in front of me as the creature strikes. He blocks the bite and crushes the hand she has on the floor with a nasty crunch. The creature howls.
I'm going to corporate about this. I shop here all the time.
Her anger is only making her more powerful. I run forward and spring off of the manager's shoulders. I catch the side of its neck with my sword and slice it all the way down as I land on its back. Black blood gushes from the wound. It smells of Marlboro 27s and iced coffee. She tries to throw me, but I use her cheap gold necklace to keep my balance. The manager pulls out a piece of paper and holds it up. A pamphlet on how vaccines work and herd immunity. She backs up a little bit. The creature hisses.
Big Pharma lies!
The necklace breaks as she reaches a hand around to pull me off. She picks me up and I stab her in the hand. The creature drops me and I fall 6 feet to the ground. The beast immediately strikes again and I catch the bite with my blade by holding it on each side. The sword is cutting into my left hand through the glove. The tongue can't get past the teeth. Her blood is dripping onto my face. The monster's bleached mustache bristles in effort. A nightmarish being of pure hatred and self-loathing. Suddenly, there is fire. The Karen's hair is aflame. She lets go of my sword, starts thrashing around. The frosted glass of the coolers crack and break as she smashes her head and hands into them. The manager drops a bottle of lighter fluid and walks closer. The creature begins to shrivel back into its normal size. She cries out,
I'm never shopping here again!
The deep voice of the manager calmly replies, I know you're not. The sound of metal hitting a skull turns into wet thwacks as he bashes her head into a pulp. The creature twitches and dies. I stand up. The manager and I share a gory handshake. His name is Darius. He offers to check me out. Darius and I swap a few monster stories as we approach the front. He tells me that Karens draw their power from their haircut. I grab my card and he rings me up. 4237, please. I feel around in my pockets. I must have lost my $50 during the fight. We lock eyes and share a silent moment. I snatch the nuggies out of the cart and make for the door. I can hear the heavy thud of armored footsteps behind me, but he's fatigued, and I easily outpace him. I get into the parking lot and find my steed. The van awakens, and we ride out of the lot. Look in the rearview mirror. A cold expression from my former battle companion tells me that this isn't over. Eat a cold tendy from the bag as I coast down the road.
Oh, Witcher, you have made a powerful enemy this day. I will tell you that much. But we do indeed live to fight another day. And so, fight another day we shall. That was only part number 5. There are 10 parts, and some of them are double parts. So yes, plenty more Urban Witcher to go. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of it. Sign up on the Patreon if you would. The YouTube channel members if you're enjoying the content, huh? A little bit of monthly dosh from my pocket. That ain't never hurt nobody. You don't have to pay for a ticket, but your donations are quite welcomed. I'm sure we'll be back to this one sooner rather than later. Who knew that green tech sagas were even a thing? I'm delightfully surprised. So as always, thank you for watching the video this far, friends. Always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.